Hey folks, Jayborino here. I'm going to be finally finishing my Legacy of the Void Brutal walkthrough. Doing the epilogue now. Not really planned. I wanted to play some custom campaigns. There's a new Annihilation map out, and I wanted to start the Replicant sequel campaign by Halt Manimal, but there's been this glitchy camera issue, and I'm going to be out of town. I'm taking 2 trips with only a couple days in between where I'm going to be severely jet-lagged. So I have to record like 5 weeks in advance. It's a crazy amount. And when there's problems like that, and we're this far in advance, unfortunately we got to do some fallback. So now we're falling back. Let's watch Kerrigan blow all this stuff up. That's satisfying. And let's get started here. Anyway, that's the situation on why I decided to do this. Leave some comments below on if you'd like to see that that series that I was talking about in the first episode of the epilogue of me playing through Starcraft 2 again. It wouldn't interrupt any custom campaign play, I will assure you. Alright, this is an interesting map. Typically what I do is, first off, get all your gas set up first. Very important. And then we're going to take our expansions, legit. Our allies are surprisingly helpful on this map, so it's good to actually move out and support them when you can, but you don't have to. What I would suggest is sit in your base for a while, spread this creep out a little bit, because you can teleport anywhere to creep with Kerrigan. Kerrigan can't do that much early on by herself. Celestial, or it's not Celestial Beam, but Quantum Ray is good, but it uses her entire mana pool, so she can't heal right after. So typically, what I would recommend is make a big old flock of Mutalisks and then just move out right after that. So our allies are going to send out attacks, and they're going to be really weak, so I would recommend just don't worry about it. Just let your allies move out and futilely attack the first set of crystals. Don't even try to attack the first set of crystals. Just make a huge swarm of Mutalisks first, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, again, set up the gas first. You're definitely going to be starving for it later, trust me. So, from a walkthrough perspective, take the gas first. You don't need the minerals as much early on. But then I'm going to get Double Spire and start my upgrades. You need to get to 3-3 very quickly because everything on this map has a ton of HP. Like a boatload of HP. So you want to make sure that your Mutalisks can actually hold their own. Otherwise, you know, again, they just die. Really, really quickly, we've got these constructs that fall. We've got these void chasms. So you may think, hey, I should destroy these void chasms. They spawn units. And they do, but the void chasms just come back. So typically what I do is, Kerrigan's got this extinction ability. So what I like to do is wait for extinction to be up, use it, and then go and snipe the chasms, and then go for the, the shards, the crystals. A lot of it, unfortunately, kind of comes down to how lucky you can be, which I'm not a fan of, but a lot of it is how lucky you are with where the enemy spawns, where the objective spawns, I should say. Anyway, her auto attack is great. There we go, we just warped to where we had creep. Making spine crawlers is near worthless on this map. Actually, I've never even checked if I can make lurkers, because I've never even bothered, because you don't really have to. Okay, let's go ahead and make some more drones here and get this fully saturated. This is nearly fully saturated, that's good. What I'm going to do is make some more hatcheries as well. Typically, what I do is you'll get a hive here, and then Amon destroys the literal area of your base, which is cool, and as long as you have your hive active to start +3, you don't really need it again. So
like we've got a crystal surfacing over here.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Are heading to it.
What you can do with Kerrigan early on is you can move out with your friends, at least, and just heal them. Just spam heal them. That's the best you can do with Kerrigan.
Amon's construct.
So let's move on out and do that with Jim's stuff. And just, again, we'll just Celestial Radiance here. And he's going to come and attack. He's not going to do very well. But with Kerrigan attacking as well, and we just want to spam Mend. Again, he'll be able to do some damage. I'm not even going to use Quantum Ray to try to make this better. I'm just going to heal him and have his units actually do stuff, like useful stuff, early on. The enemy units really don't concern me. If we see an attack, we'll just warp back to base. And like I said, all I'm doing is I'm spamming attacks. I'm spamming her attacks. Unfortunately, I have to teleport home right now. Again, really unfortunate. We can warp back over there pretty quickly. Okay, let's go ahead and set this base back up, and then we can sort of teleport back close, but unfortunately, all of his stuff is dead. So, it was a valiant effort, Jim Raynor, but, you know, we got the Void Crystal kind of damaged, but it doesn't matter. Again, I'm not even going to waste my time. I'd much rather just focus on getting that group of Mutalisks out first. Much rather do that, and why not do this? I should have used Extinction instead. I wasn't really thinking. Some people have issues with this map. I found this typically to be a little easier than the other Epilogue maps. Maybe not the first one, but the second one I always found to be the hardest. But sometimes this one can throw you a curveball. It really can, just based on bad luck with where the crystals spawn. There's also kind of a soft timer that's not shown, but there is a bit of a timer
This can't be good.
based on
Shaking under our boots here.
when your bases get destroyed, which is about to happen. I like watching this just because it's really neat, as we just watch him destroy the terrain. It's a cool little mechanic. So once all three of your bases are gone and you have no income, that's kind of the end of the map, because you can't make anything else. You're going to really struggle to snipe the shards. And I don't know how much that affects your allies too, so you may be able to still use Kerrigan to heal your allies. I don't know.
Amon shall
Whatever. Let's just do this. We've got a pretty nice open crystal over here I probably want to go for next. Let's start +2.
let him come. The swarm.
And I could make Ultralisks too if I wanted. I could do anything I want on this map. There's plenty of opportunities. So we might as well, you know, we can make Hydralisks. I'll just throw down my production structures. I probably won't really build on them. Okay, Artanis wants to be a hero, so what I'm going to do is use Extinction and go and help him. So, poof, that's going to clear the map, and then we can move over and actually heal his troops, because these constructs do a boatload of damage, and I'm talking a boatload. Okay, so again, we're just going to help Artanis here. I may be able to wipe the crystal here, but it's going to be really, really challenging to do. So, and odds are we're going to have to warp back anyway. So Artanis' troops are going to do the most damage, and we can actually start rallying up here. Artanis' troops will do the most damage, and maybe we'll be able to help them in time. But see, they're sort of spreading out like clowns. That's not what you should be doing, Artanis. We're not going to get to the shard in time. But we're not really going to be able to take these shards down until we can make a boatload of Mutalisks anyway, so. Again, don't be too concerned early on this map. There we go, so now we're going to warp back. And keep this stuff alive. And let's rally up to Kerrigan, and with my extra money, I'm going to make more hatcheries. So that we can continue making Mutalisks. Just like that. And Artanis, unfortunately, is gone now, too. And that's just the way this map is going to go. Our allies, if we can be on top of them and help them, it'll be great. But, you know, it's going to be few and far between opportunities to do such a thing. Until we get +3, then we'll be fine. But for now, there's no rush. Just stay alive. Just want to emphasize, don't worry too much. There's plenty of time. And it's probably better to fully saturate these bases and get as much mining time out of them before they disappear. Then you can just spam Mutalisks later and succeed. So let's just wait for larva. Our overlords are slow, interestingly enough, even though they're the fancy overlords with extra supply. I thought that they automatically move faster in the campaign, but in this instance, I guess not. This Void Chasm is real irritating because it spawns close to your base, and I would recommend just going and trying to actually kill it. Also, Amon destroys other parts of the map, I want to point out. You may not notice that, but he does, so it's totally worth... Okay, this is very bad timing. Let's just leave. He sent a boatload of units over there. We don't have Extinction up. But this will spawn units even faster onto your base, so it's totally worth trying to defend it a little bit better. I set up these crawlers, again, sort of worthless. Okay, and I could make Mutalisks. I could even make Zerglings, because I'm in the business of just spawning a boatload of stuff, especially if it's minerals and not gas. Mostly just dump the gas. We got +3 queued up, Again, next time Extinction's up, we'll go out and actually start working on the objective, but right now I'm not that concerned about it.
Void crystal is approaching my nexus point. My forces are heading toward it.
We're getting to the point where our allies are actually going to start really pushing out some good amounts of units. So, again, we're not going to be able to actually destroy the crystals with just Mutalisks without +3, because they actually heal quite fast, and Mutalisks do relatively low damage, and there's nothing really to bounce onto. This crystal looks like it's in good location. We'll be able to use Extinction and wipe it.
My nexus point.
You can see the attacks they send aren't bad, and they're going to get even larger. So it's not bad. Our allies are, I'm going to emphasize, I want to stress, our allies are quite good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use Extinction, because there's a butt ton of units here. Let's move on up and see about getting rid of at least one of these.
Amon will surely strike your hive cluster soon.
Right, so he's going to start hitting us. Do we have +3 yet? No, we're still 2-2, but that's okay. We can destroy the constructs pretty quick. And just keep spamming that heal. That's some AoE right there. Hit the chasm, and then we're going to go and get the... crystal. I am destroying these for the future. There we go. And let's come on up here and start attacking this. We want to sit near the edge with Kerrigan, because it does create the fog, the void fog, so we take damage over time. Constructs will land. Who cares? Just focus this down and then teleport out. You can heal through all this damage. You might lose a couple Mutalisks, but that's the way to roll.
I sense Amon's focus has turned to my swarm.
Interestingly enough, we have survived enemy attacks because I made some spine crawlers, so I'm eating my own words.
The first crystal is down. His barrier weakens.
Okay, it's totally worth rebuilding these right away. There we go, we destroyed that. And what I'll probably do, let's move in into this area next. And let's try to max out on Mutalisks.
Another crystal is heading my way. My men are already after it.
So I want to try to clear the path so I can go over and help Jim. We destroyed only one crystal. We got a way to go, but that's okay. Similar to the crystals, we can hit the chasms even though the constructs are spawning, because the mend out heals it entirely. We have a weird large air attack coming here, so let's teleport back, wipe it, and then go back. No problem. What I'll probably do is come and wipe this one too. Okay, unfortunately we lost a bunch of stuff there. Okay, let's heal. Try to get rid of some of these constructs, because they are doing, like, when there's enough of them, they do a boatload of damage. These lasery ones, the AoE ones don't concern me. It's the lasery ones that can actually snipe your Mutalisks. There we go, get rid of them. Just trying to, again, clear the way for my allies. Let's destroy this construct, and then I'm going to go for the floaty objective here right in the middle. And we may be able to actually help Artanis get rid of a few of these right away. Jim is unfortunately kind of walled into his base. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this one in time. As long as Kerrigan can heal our Mutalisks, then we're fine. Okay, bases are going down. There we go, and let's try to wipe some of these.
You cannot hide behind your crystals, Amon. To me, what is it?
Okay, and I think I'm doing pretty good at actually keeping the map fairly clear. And I'd love to get over here to help Artanis before all of his stuff dies, but I think we're going to be a little too late, unfortunately. And I don't have Extinction up. Extinction would be the perfect thing to use right here. At the very least... nah, I don't think we're going to get there in time, but let's start focusing down these. Maybe getting rid of this crystal here will be... Or at least getting rid of the Void Chasm will be the most useful thing we can do. Just keep healing. Getting rid of the chasms, and the constructs, rather. Okay. More of them spawn, unfortunately. It's sort of intense in the sense that you can't stop healing, and you want to actually utilize your units to do stuff. He's about to destroy a bunch of land, so you have to be careful. When you hear him do that whispery thing, he destroys stuff. And you just have to be careful, because if you lose stuff to the ground blowing up, you're going to really regret it, because it might be your whole army. It's happened to me before. Let's see if we can get at least one of these while we're here. Artanis' forces are dead, but this map is It's about map control and staying on top of the chasms, because if you can destroy the chasms after using Extinction, you can destroy them pretty easily. Then they won't build up enough to attack your base. So, like, by taking out this one on the left and keeping the one on the right fairly low, in fairly, like, destroyed shape. I don't know how else to describe it other than if you destroy them frequently enough. If you can destroy them frequently enough, then they can't build enough units to really threaten your base. And if your base isn't threatened, then you can pretty easily move around the map and destroy the actual objectives. We're already at 4 out of 7. Like I said, once you get the big ball of Mutalisks, then you're in much better shape. I even have a couple Ultralisks in here just for fun. I could come on down. I can warp back here, because there's some creep. Wipe this whole group out. I could even make some Hydralisks if I want, but they're relatively low health, so it's probably not worth it. And then we can teleport here. And what I'll probably do is use Extinction to help wipe the map again by destroying these constructs. And then get this chasm recently spawned, so there aren't a lot of units built up around it. We can take it out very, very quickly. Very important. Okay, and then I could just keep leveling stuff up. No, we actually lost our lair and our hive. I think I mentioned that before. That's something that happens. So the voids, the chasms come back. I mentioned that. It's good to just keep them down, especially this one close to your base. Again, I still wouldn't consider this map harder than the last one. This one's more about just like understanding the map and how it functions and staying on top of the chasms. Understanding which chasms to bother with and which ones you can typically ignore. I mean, I don't even have to be destroying these constructs, but I'm doing it because I'm probably going to want to run through this area later. I have a lot of money saved up, which is very important. Let's come on up and take care of this one. Actually, let's wipe this out. These air attacks spawn out of nowhere. I don't even think they come out of a void chasm. So you do have to divert. And another thing, too, you'll notice Artanis is on top of this. And that's because we cleared that area out. So he doesn't need our help. Which is awesome. Let's wipe this stuff out, and then... because that might have been going for our base. Let's see about just sniping this one, and then there's only 2 left after this, and just keep healing. Our Ultralisk's surprisingly helpful. There we go. Unfortunately, Jim hasn't been able to really do anything, because he's just sort of trapped. I may be able to go and help him. Like, I could use Extinction right now. And then go up and destroy the chasm that's on his base. Artanis on the plus. I mean, Artanis has been sort of rolling, so we can move up here, hopefully help Jim escape his base, and then move down and help Artanis. There we go. And this may give Jim the opportunity to actually get out of his base. If he can do that, he may be able to actually get rid of the chasm on the right side. But as you can see, what I would recommend, one of the biggest things I'd recommend on this map is don't try to do too much too early. Because if you do, then you're never gonna be able to really make real headway. And as you can see, like Artanis, he's over on the right, he's doing great, so he's fine. So again, you know, take your time, don't rush early on. At this point, you know, this is where I'm a little more concerned with actually finishing the map, because my outlying bases are gonna be starting to get destroyed. But if you leave those void chasms up for too long, you get totally boned. I can't stress that enough. There's really not much more strategy-wise to discuss on this map. I keep sort of repeating the same thing, but it's sort of a get ahead and stay ahead sort of situation. You know, you're behind at the beginning of the map, but you're able to just explode once you get to this type of army. The Ultralisks are superfluous. I don't need them, but they're fine. Okay, here we go. And the last crystal spawned in a really lucky location, to be honest. Sometimes they'll spawn, like, up here. And you can't get up there with Kerrigan, because you can't get creep up there. I don't think our overlords can't poop creep, so there's no way I could get up there. But this went really smoothly. Like I mentioned, some of it is luck-based. It just depends. Like, we had really good void crystal spawns. They were in the best of places. But other than that, you know, once you have a large enough army, move out and understand that you can snipe targets, even though there's a ton of units and constructs around them if you just spam Celestial Radiance. I don't think I've used Quantum Ray even one time. It's just not even worth it.
My destiny.
And luckily I was sitting here so I can destroy this one before it even bothers us. And again, if I didn't keep some of these void chasms down, our allies wouldn't have been able to build enough units, and we wouldn't have been able to really, again, start our roll. So, one last reiteration as we're finishing the map is
Speak to me.
start the map. Don't worry about your allies dying. Don't worry about the enemy building up. You can use extinction and clear them out really, really fast. I'm actually just going to move by here. You have to be careful, though, because this ground gets destroyed. So let's actually hit this. Yes, yeah, my whole army could have died right there if I wasn't aware of that. Let's just get rid of these. Because we're going to have to walk around with our Ultralisks.
Minions flee.
Yeah, our Hive Cluster's getting attacked. I could always warp back, but I'd much rather just go and win.
I am.
It's a shame I couldn't have attacked more with my allies. I tried. They can really get some Mondo armies out on this map. They really can. It's really satisfying, too. But unfortunately, again, that was just sort of a bad luck with the spawns, perhaps. But I think I did pretty good keeping the big volcanoes down. I've never seen Jim Raynor actually get wiped out like this. He got totally boned.
Finally, the barrier has
All right, we've destroyed him. He was forced to become this just like us. Honestly, that's like the most interesting lore tidbit about Amon
It is over,
in the
Amon.
entirety of his time in Starcraft. We don't need to watch this. But yeah, I think some people have said they've had a ton of trouble, a ton of trouble with that map compared to map 2. Map 2 is, I think, my opinion, way harder, only because in map 3 you just have to understand the right way to approach it. Map 2 you have to execute well. This map, spam the heal. Make a bunch of Mutalisks, make them with 3 attack at least first, and then you can move around and snipe whatever you want around the map. If you try to move out too early, though, then yeah, you're going to end up behind, and you're probably going to end up staying behind. But other than that, we're done with this series. Woohoo! Again, I'd love to hear your feedback below if you'd like to see a big StarCraft 2 Mondo playthrough with all the dialogue and such. Just as much content from vanilla StarCraft 2 as possible, including Nova Covert Ops, just as one big old thing. Again, I don't want it to interfere with custom campaigns. So, I mean, we're running short on content. I've talked about that before, but it's legitimately happening. Even with Warcraft 3, we've played a lot, but we're going to run out eventually. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for sticking through for after a year. Some of those really devoted commenters have brought it up even till recently, saying, why haven't you played the Epilogue yet? You know, it's only been 3 missions. And now, because we've had a disaster happen with the cinematic cameras, it's happened. So congratulations, you've outlasted me. Okay, well, this has been Jayborino. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.